also be in single file formation when they come down here.
Doug Wolfgang now moves up to the runner-up position, but if he had a rear view mirror, he'd be getting an eye full of Tim Green. Wolfgang has not had quite the super setup that certainly he and that team are capable of having. And now Wolfgang pulls out ahead of some of the slower cars as he anticipates a green flag this time around, but World of Outlaw officials say no, as the field is now really scrambled in the back of the pack.
Well, the problem was Sammy Swindell, when he came down last time, was anticipating a green and pulled way out ahead of the field. And when the cars got to the backstretch, Wolfgang and Green and others decided that they didn't want to have that distance as Steve Kinzer moves back out into the race. They didn't want to have that distance, so they started to pass some of the slower cars, and we got all fouled up. Now they are back in the correct order, and the green flag is back out. We have 20 laps completed, 10 more laps to go in our 30-lap feature race, with Sammy Swindell leading and Steve Kinzer now back in the race, but instead of running second, he is running in last position. Swindell moving quickly through turns 3 and 4. As into your screen comes Doug Wolfgang at number 75. Tim Green at number 20 is running in third position. And fourth now is Jeff Swindell in 1A.
Boy, it's going to be fun to watch Steve Kinzer now. Kinzer now in turn 1 and turn 2 as leader Swindell comes out of turn 4. But Steve Kinzer has already caught the pack. Remember, he's on the same lap with the leaders, and Kinzer is going to be blasting his way through traffic. Here comes Steve Kinzer.
Well, I think the interesting battle here, Larry, is going to be for the lead between Doug Wolfgang and Sammy Swindell, because Doug is moving in quickly. There is Kinzer in number 11, trying to work his way around Bill Liebig at car number 8. Kinzer working to the high side of the racetrack, now sees a slower car ahead of him and has to get on the brakes momentarily. Pumps wheels with Liebig coming off of turn number 4. Steve Kinzer would like to get back up near the top.
I repeat again, he's on the lead lap, so if he can work his way near the front, another caution flag might put him in a very good stead.
It is Sammy Swindell and Doug Wolfgang running first and second. Swindell off of the fourth turn. The advantage is about a half a straightaway for Sammy Swindell over Doug Wolfgang. Car going very slowly down the backstretch. That is Jeff Swindell in 1A, and he was running in fourth position. And again, it is a tire problem, and again, the yellow comes out. Jeff Swindell running in fourth, countering tire problems.
Well, this is what Kinzer was looking for, but it comes just a little early. There is still approximately 10 cars between himself and the front runners, Swindell and Wolfgang, but it certainly does help the Steve Kinzer situation as he tries to move back up, maybe getting as high as top 5, he hopes, before the checker flag drops.
There's your leader, Sammy Swindell. Once again, we are slowed, and we have completed 25 laps.
A very, very restart, a very early start of this race, and it looked like he was in a position to at least challenge for victory here today, starting in the top 4.
The orange number 20 of Tim Green running in third position. Now the field is mixed up a little bit, and the World of Outlaw officials move out and signal to the drivers via chalkboard the way that they should be lined up for the restart. So when they get in position, we will be going back to green with 5 more laps to go.
Now both Kinzer and now Jeff Swindell pulls back onto the racetrack. We're able to pit under caution flags and stay on the lead lap. Four turn.
That is Jack Howdenshield in car number 18 that went over the wall and flipped into a parking area. And you can see that Jack is quickly unbuckling himself and climbing out of the race car. Jack Howdenshield has gone over the wall, but he's already outside of the race car. The car is entangled somewhat in some catch fencing. Jack, it looks like, is okay. On the restart, he had to go high on the racetrack and simply got into the wall. And Larry, the wall that you talked about earlier, the fact that it is so low, isn't very high. He launched right over it, did at least one flip, but landed on his wheels. Jack Howdenshield takes off the helmet. It's okay, but boy, that was a scary accident.
Bob, something definitely broke on that race car. You also, that shot there, get an idea of how potentially close he came to getting near some of the spectator areas. Now, there are no stands or seats down there. All those people have left the main grandstand area and gone down to the crash scene. Some 100 feet or so from where he went over the wall. Something broke on this car. I happened to be looking up toward the fourth turn as they came down for the green flag, and Haudenschild, he didn't lose it. That car just darted toward the outside retaining wall. I don't think a tire went, but as quickly as he went, it almost looked like the accelerator had stuck, but something, I think, on the chassis must have broken on the front of that car. Could even have been a tie rod. Obviously, the tie rod broken now when he hit the retaining wall, which is cement, and bolted over it. But the way that car just shot towards the outside wall, I'm guessing tie rod or something else that's very important up front.
All right, we are under red with a few more laps to go. Jack Haudenschild over the wall, but he's okay. We'll be back for more action from Odessa after this. Doug Wolfgang, Tim Green, and Jeff Swindell, the first four in our feature race. Running in fifth position is Bill Robinson. Sixth is Rick Unger. Seventh is Jack Hewitt. And in eighth position is Steve Kinzer. In ninth is Bill Liebig. And 10th, a lap down, is Brad Doty. Now, 26 laps have been completed. We have 4 more to go. Now we go back and take a look at what happened at the restart just a few minutes ago.
Watch for the third yellow car. There's the first, there's the second, there's the third one, Haudenschild. The car was set momentarily, then all of a sudden darts to the outside, smoke coming from underneath. Possibly something breaking. It could be Jack standing on the brakes, and believe me, when that happens, you stand yourself right up in the seat. Do the best you can to get it stopped, but that shot there was pretty evident. The car appeared to be set, and there he is making a crash landing in that inverted airplane outside the racetrack. And Bobby made a point when we were on break, the catch fence, I didn't think it would really do anything, but it did. It had an effect. It kept that car from getting closer to the crowd.
There is a